pop out, like my neighbor and go consider.
Yeah, I've responded to it.
Did you? Okay.
I responded to it, and then we're gonna get our permit department to follow up on that.
Thanks.
Yeah.
You did contact him. Yeah, 'cause I
He
gave him an
contacted
email.
me. I sent an email back saying,
Yeah.
Well, they finally got BIOS fixed back there. We wouldn't bury the cables.
they were just laying there.
They came out, what, 4 or 5 times? It's been out like 10 times in the last month, already. For 3 days at a time that they've got it fixed. But yeah, right behind ours is a big rut. Hopefully.
Yeah. Well, they're almost finished with the houses backing up to that alley, I think, and so.
So who did you say was gonna come fix it? Somebody was gonna come fix it?
Yeah, that just happened today. So my permit guys will follow up on that. Yeah.
Thanks.
So I have a question from Annie-Ann, but it's kind of involved. It's about water being shut off at its house and contamination in water after it was turned back on. Can I talk to you afterwards about that? I'll
Yeah.
send you an email. Probably needs an email response.
Okay.
I think something you probably have to look into.
Okay.
So we're in the public communication part of the meeting, so if you have a public communication, that would be a good time.
We kind of communicated over
absolutely.
this. I'm Allison Warren. This is Nora.
Allison, Nora, how are you? How's your arm?
It was good and it broke my arm.
You broke your arm.
Yeah. So we were just coming to talk about the playgrounds. I had emailed with Phil. I don't know if.
And it went to the.
Okay.
Yeah, we've traded back and forth, yeah.
So when I saw that there was a meeting, I messaged Patrick about coming just because I'm so concerned about that area of the playground over in the new, I think it's is that considered the southeast? Or
Right.
And basically, I ironically ran into a woman in Starbucks the other day who had just moved into that area, and without me saying anything, she mentioned that her 3-year-old had fallen on that same piece of equipment.
Mm-hmm.
And so we just wanted to come talk about that to see what else we can do to try to get that piece fixed. Basically, I have pictures on my phone, but it's a rope bridge that the kids cross. And Nora's probably the most cautious child you'll ever encounter. She doesn't even.
Caitlin used to walk on that. She didn't.
That's right, Caitlin didn't. But she was following some friends. This was the first time she had ever really actually gone on anything with the playground by herself. And when you cross the bridge and you use your arms on the little side railings to hold on, if you lean forward, the pieces open up. And so Nora fell through there. And she actually completely broke her humerus bone in half. Yes, we have to walk up here. And then you remember when you fell? You get hurt. Yeah, you missed out on something.
It hurt on my arm.
Yeah, they actually missed her break at the Medical City Urgent Care. It was that it wasn't broken, but it was a complete break of her humerus bone, which you cannot cast on a child this age because of the growth plate. And so she had to basically wear a sling for 6 weeks, and then we have a follow-up X-ray next month to make sure the ankle of her bone is healing, and then she's going to start doing some OT because she's having some problems with writing because she's left-handed, and that was the arm she broke. So
There was an ankle issue as well?
I'm sorry.
There was an ankle issue as well?
Oh, no,
okay.
no, the angle, sorry, the angle
Oh,
did
angle,
heal that.
okay.
Because it was a complete break, the way that it heals, they just double check to make sure the arm's straightened out. Yes, you.
Well, it hurted. Well, I didn't want to go down.
So I went out and looked at that rope bridge myself, and I see what you're talking about. So the rails are a little
Picture too,
bit,
if you wanna
that'd be great.
look around.
The rails are actually, I'm surprised you can reach them because they're a little high for her. I think that they're a little bit high. And yeah, those ropes, what look to be guards, they just split right apart and fall through there.
I have kind of the picture of how it looks when you walk by it, and then how it looks when you push on it, that someone could just fall right through. And then there's a picture of Nora and her X-rays if you wanna pass it on your phone too.
Which park is this?
This is the one over behind the hospital.
Okay, the new one?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, it's over in it's right across from the models of 1D.
So it's in it's a part of 1D.
1D, that's right. And, I was looking, I know nothing about how parks get put together. I know nothing about the equipment that goes into a park, but I did notice that across the top, there seems to be some sort of connector that looks to connect the ropes, and it looks to be, the ropes go through and then tighten down either side. And I'm wondering if we could, what's the feasibility of taking another rope, put it halfway down so that it wouldn't split apart like that in the future? And it actually acts as a rail, I think, for the smaller
Yeah,
kids
that's
too.
kind of what I was thinking, if there was something that they could just
Yes,
hold
yes.
on to. Because almost all of her friends you know, kids that
No,
probably.
I've got pictures of it, yeah.
Probably ranged in age from 3 to 6 or 7 that were playing that day. And really, I think an adult could fit through that too. So we just wanted to say anything we can do to help, you know, get that done, we would love to help so that no one else gets hurt.
Like that one?
Yeah, and I would say, you know, I have 6 kids and 7 grandchildren, so, you know, I'm very attuned to this. I did go over there and walk it and look at it, and then I've met with the installer and the salesman. And there's several, including that, there's several of the pieces over there that have, you know, they are for 5 to 12-year-old children.
Right.
And so they're not designed for younger children, you know, and so, and then there are some that are designed for, you know, 1 to 3 or,
Right.
and so,
I think even those older kids though could fall through that area.
yeah, I think that, I mean, you know, there's, and I've had children do this thing, you know,
Yeah.
and so they, you know, they're at risk playing on the equipment,
Right.
you know, and it is designed for older children. And so, and for us to modify it, you know, I don't think we can just go modify, you know, by putting another rope. And I think I shot you an email, you know, my concern is that if it's not designed for a younger child and you put a mid rope, then would they fall through or hang themselves, you know? So you know, and I don't think the district wants to go modify equipment when we're not, you know, really in that business. I don't, you know, and I've asked the installer and I've asked the salesperson,
Right.
you know.
So they were surveying it and they might get back to you on,
Pardon?
you had said that they were surveying it and that they might get back to you on like a way.
Yeah, and my feeling is that the manufacturer wouldn't want to, I mean, modify that piece of equipment. You know, it's designed to, you know. So I don't really have a good answer for you. I don't think we can modify it. I think it's the age of the children that play on it that, you know, as you say, you can't reach the top ropes. There's not a mid rope, so it's really for older children. My children would be on it too at, you know, at that
I
age.
think even an older child could definitely fall through. It's just unfortunate.
They certainly could.
Press
Yeah.
on that, it opens up to like that wide and that like I
Yeah.
could fit through there.
Yeah.
I do think there's a little difference here, because my daughter actually broke her arm on the Castle Park, but she was playing on a piece of equipment that she was age appropriate for, but it was an accident, because it just happened. I mean, this looks to be, what I see it to be, not a great design. And if what we're saying is, you know, there is equipment there that's for 3 to 5 and for 5 to 12. I didn't see any markings over there that were obvious to me that said, you know, nobody under 3 should be on this equipment, nobody under 5 should be. It might be on some little tag somewhere that I didn't see. But how would that be conveyed to the people who go out to the park?
It's on a, you know, it's about that big. I've got a picture of it. And so, and I ask, you know, I asked our insurance guy, I mean, should we post it, you know, post signs all over? And he said, no. I mean, it's, you know, that wouldn't make any difference. I mean,
And that's the problem is we alter, I mean, the placard is good. If we alter the design and then something happens based on the altered design, then the manufacturer will say, well, they altered the design. So,
Sure, and so I don't think what you're hearing
Yeah.
advocate, or even you advocate,
Mhm.
that we should go out there and buy some Home Depot rope and throw it on there and say done. You know, if we had the manufacturer come out and say, it just can't be done, I've never seen this before, we've got this playground equipment in 1,000 other playgrounds, it's just a happenstance, that's one thing, but I haven't heard anybody say that yet.
Yeah.
I've heard that we've asked, but I haven't seen any kind of written response that says, we just never seen this before, and there's nothing we can do about it other than replace all the equipment out there. That's what I was kind of looking for, a definitive yes or no answer from the manufacturer.
I just couldn't believe when I met this lady and that was the first thing she said when we started talking about that area was that, oh, you know, we like that playground. And she said, yeah, my daughter actually fell over there though, so you should be careful on. And it was the exact same thing that Nora did. It's just, obviously she was more seriously injured because the way that if their arms are outstretched and they fall, they're gonna completely fracture that bone versus just a child kind of falling with their hands by themselves, by their body. Yeah, I didn't want to just go put anything up myself. I just would like to do anything I can with the manufacturer to try and make it safer.
So I guess one thing to talk, I would really love to see a written response from the manufacturer that says this is the way it's designed, we've never had issues with it, there's nothing we can do about it. Is there a way to make that happen?
I think just talking to the manufacturer, I mean, I don't know what the
Email
odds are of them
response is fine,
providing
too.
a written response, but they would probably provide a verbal response.
So they wouldn't put in an email, you don't think?
I don't know, they might. I mean, I just don't know if they would say anything about their design when we say somebody's been hurt on this piece of equipment. Should we alter the design? I just have a hard time seeing them putting a written response and saying, no, the design is fine. They probably just don't want to provide any
Can
response.
they at least just come out to make sure it's been installed correctly?
Yeah, I mean, they may. I don't know. I haven't talked to them, so it's
Yeah, there's
conjecture on my
unfortunately, looks like
part.
Phil got called away, but he said he's been in communication with them.
Yeah.
But I haven't heard anything short. I haven't heard the actual statement that says the manufacturer said there's nothing that can be done about it. That's kind of what I'm looking for, a definitive yes or no answer. So I
Okay.
guess we can wait for Phil
Yeah, he's
come
been
back.
talking to him. I haven't heard anything about it, so.
And he said they didn't think that we could put it anywhere else, that whole area is not for children their age. He said there was a placard somewhere, I didn't see it.
I didn't see when I was out there. There probably is. Most of them have them, but they're not really
Yeah.
obvious.
I know usually there's like the board of the rules when you walk up to the park, but
Yeah.
Does that park have rules posted?
So there's rules.
They are
I
posted.
think there are rules about, park closed at 11, things like that. But I don't think it goes as far as to say, here's 9 pieces of playground equipment. These 2 are for 5
Yeah.
years old, these are for 6. And
But the rules are posted. I just don't remember seeing the big sign. Usually there's that big wooden.
yeah.
Huge
I didn't see that, but we were there in February when this happened, so it could have just been that it wasn't even in there yet.
I'd have to look. I don't know for sure. Just a different set of rules, I think. Daryl, how are you?
I apologize, but see, that's,
Okay, yeah, that definitely wasn't there when we were there in February. I don't think that was
Yeah.
up yet.
I mean, so,
I've never seen that. Where's that?
Yeah. I was thinking it would be that green one with like the bullet point.
It's pretty big. It's big in the photograph.
but there's only one of those. And so my question was, do we
Should
put
move
more
it
of them?
over?
And what, that was on, I think, the piece of equipment adjacent to it. And so should you post more, what is the age appropriate?
I've never seen this in any park. I mean,
That's well,
we got tons of parks and.
no, I haven't seen it on any of the parks.
Yeah.
I don't think that was there then when we definitely don't remember seeing the sign.
And so, we could post it. I mean, I'm very sorry that she,
No, I mean, I don't need,
Yeah.
anything for her, like medical wise,
Yeah.
I just would hate for it to happen to somebody else.
No, it's just.
Previous incidents with the same equipment. Recall or anything like that?
So, yes, that's, the question from the community is, does manufacturer have data they'd like to share that says, we've got this next number of parks, we've had 0 incidents so far with it? That's the question that was asked from the community.
would
What
be-
kind of data does the manufacturer have to say these are safe? Can we get anything like that from them?
Probably not, but I don't mind asking.
Okay.
I mean, I doubt that they would share, injury information on their toy, their design. But I would,
Recall information.
pardon,
Can you recall information?
certainly would be happy to send something.
So if we're gonna
Or we
definitive-
could just take this portion of it down, just
Yeah.
eliminate
So I
that.
hate to go through with the blunt force instrument and do something like that. When, has the manufacturer could just come back and say nothing can be done about it? I'm just looking for a yes or no answer on that. We got a yes or no answer from him regarding?
No, I'll get
modifying
a
those?
definitive answer if they'll respond, which I would not be surprised if they don't respond. I've gone through the people that sold it and the people that install it, that, to ask them. And then I went over and photographed it and kind of understand that, the age appropriateness of certain pieces of equipment.
So I think that sign's great. I hadn't seen one before in the, dozens of parks around here. That's the first time I've seen that sign anywhere. So I think that sign, a great start, and maybe all that's needed. But again, if we can just get the manufacturer to give us a statement, yes or no, we can modify it or we won't modify it, is what I'd be looking for.
Okay, we'll do that. And I'll copy you on it. Yeah.
Okay, sounds
Yeah.
good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. We're gonna talk about budgets and stuff. You're welcome to stay, or you can.
Or even test dinner time.
Yeah.
Any other public comment? Go see the baby. Okay, say thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks very much. All right,
Thank you.
Okay, so at this time I have minutes. Minutes from August 5th and August 18th. Did everyone receive a copy?
They look fine to me to look at them.
Any questions? Is there a motion? No, second?
Second.
All in favor?
Yep.
Now, at this time, I have 5:17. I'm gonna call the public hearing on the tax rate and open that. Okay, we published the quarter page notice in the Louisville Leader. The proposed tax rate for 2015 is 77 cents. Last year's tax rate was 84 cents. So a 7-cent deduction. The 77 cents will be allocated 0.53 to debt service and 0.2347 to N&O. Are there any questions on the tax rate?
So when we did our calculations, the park monies that's been requested, were those included? That's a pretty big number.
Yeah, I think it is included currently in the FOMB.
Yeah,
and so it flows through.
included.
But that was using the calculations that we used to say, can we
Yes.
support a 77 tax rate? Okay, all right.
So,
Lisa, has anything else changed since we discussed this?
No, we did add the expense for the police security to your budget, which gives you a break even for the year. So you don't have any existing surplus at this time, but I don't think that it's necessary for you to have a higher rate.
and the other thing to note is it does result in a decrease of approximately 8.33%. So, is there any questions, public comment? Okay, I'm gonna close the hearing at 5:19. Is there a motion to approve the order setting the tax rate for 2015?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor? And a motion to approve the amended notice to sellers and purchasers to reflect our new tax rate.
Motion.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Yep. Aye.
Okay, Daryl, security report.
All right, guys, there are a couple of things. The first 31 days of the service are complete, which represented August 1st through the 31st of August. We went through random days for each week, random hours. About 85% of the hours were night hours to kind of get a feel for what's moving around at night. Officers are running into suspicious vehicles, people sitting in them. We get in behind them and they take off. So we don't know if that's impactful. We won't know in a comparative way until we get the August stats from the city, to which we can, Patrick and I are trying to isolate the grids for 1B, and we'll do a comparison whether the contact unit making contact with people who are sitting in 1B or in alleyways in 1B, if running them off is going to be preventing crime in the 1B area. We are seeing open garages left open at night during the nighttime hours. We're talking about not evening, we're talking about midnight to 5 a.m. Where people are going to bed and just leaving their garages open. Patrick and I talked about leaving the courtesy card on the mailbox clipped to it so they'll see when they get the mail. That we noticed at 2:37 in the morning they left their garage open. The random days, we really haven't seen a difference between a Monday night from a Saturday night, but not a Friday night. Football and high school activities up and running. We may position ourselves for Friday night being out in an 8-hour capacity to go toward the 28 hours for the week in order to deal with juveniles getting from the game 10:45 to 1:45 in the morning. they'll be out. Your parks, we are also doing, not just checking for people, we're checking your equipment for the vandalism. We're checking your equipment for things like what she's talking about, that's a potential hazard. Like if a screw comes loose or if rope is broken, things like that. We're going to document that within the reporting so you guys know that the parks, such as the Toma Park and the Dragon Park, if there's an issue there, we can get right on top of it.
Have you found any kids or adults after 11 o'clock yet?
Yes.
Yeah.
We have. Yes.
Can we note that in the report? Because I see where you
Yeah,
draw the parks, but I didn't
what
see
we're
that.
gonna do is we're gonna add a section for after hours park contacts.
Okay.
So we can let you know if we are contacting people. We have not contacted anybody in the last 31 days involved in known criminal activity at the park. So we did have an issue with the narcotic issue, which I spoke to you probably on that we're still after. We have not found the source of that yet. As far as the reporting, everything is going steady. Now, we have done something a little better to consolidate our technology. And again, we're working with Patrick. We're issuing these tablets to all the officers involved in this program. On this tablet, there's a reporting system called officerreports.net. And it basically gives us tracking and stats as the officers are inputting and submitting their report so that we don't have to do it manually by looking over reports. It's a system we're going company-wide with, but in particular, we can isolate, which is what you guys like to see, 1B's activities, and it compiles the data for us. And it's also compatible with the camera system that is installed in the vehicle.
So you got any vehicle yet?
Yes, we do have.
Oh, do you?
It's being used elsewhere too.
No,
It got a lot of love. I mean, a lot of this car, you guys have to understand, is beyond what I would call a normal security vehicle. With the camera technology, with the reporting being paperless and digital, and able to isolate and compile stats. This is our first step to making this one of the premier units for Dayton County. So along with a lot of communication that goes between me and Patrick is to make it the best out there and give you guys that reference and resource to do it. So all the officers involved will have a tablet issued to them. These go out tomorrow. They will be able to input their clock in, out, and all the information regarding the shift. One thing we've been stressing is we have hazards in 1B, i.e. 2700 block of Maryland with the construction and concrete work being done there. Cars getting on the same side of the road is very dangerous at night. So we've been documenting that. And that's why I was listening to the park issue, because we are very conscious that, the parks can have vandalism happen at night, and dangerous situations can come when the equipment is either worn out or something came loose or things like that. So we're doing that within this system here. So you will see over the next 30 days of September, consolidation of paperless reporting. We're also going to be looking at the stats from the city coming about, I'll say the 15th of September. And then we'll work on isolating what grids actually cover 1B. 1B geographically can be very complex because of how it's cut out of the map there. So some grids overlap a little bit and some don't, but we'll make that work and analyze that. So you're gonna see over the next 30 days more of the park in the daytime. Daytime hours being, I would say 3 to 7, 3 to 9, when people are just before they get home from work or just when they get home from work. You guys will see, we're gonna try to see what impact that has on daytime issues, because we do have some daytime burglars that are happening, not so much in Capitol Hill, but surrounding areas, where people are taking advantage of people being gone during the day. We have the idea that when you go to work during the day, your house is empty for 8 hours. Let's take an opportunity to take from the garage or take from the home. So we're on that. So we're going to be doing stat analysis for around the mid 15th to the 25th, around there, and with Patrick isolating 1B to see what kind of impact we had on the nighttime operations. So going forward, we'll be doing the crime prevention about 75% daytime hours I know contractually we have a nighttime hours that we have to complete. We're gonna reserve that as of right now for the Friday nights. That I think with Friday night football, high school football in the area, I think that will be our most active with a good presence of even high school students residing in one peak. Other than that, just getting the technology and getting the reporting all consolidated is what we're doing. And we haven't run across any major critical incidents in the last 31 days to report to you guys. And as this thing moves forward, we'll be able to see more analysis by having the stats from the previous month to look at in comparison to 2015 and 2014, what we're looking at. So as far as the security is going right now, it's, I deem it pretty successful right now, but we'll have the information, further information by the 15th to qualify that statement.
Will that car be around after this meeting? Take some pictures?
It's actually in Irving right now.
Okay.
We can do a photo op with you. Jessica is gonna call you, because I know that you want to talk about ride-alongs and things like that. She is coordinating that along with the technology.
Can you leave him out of the photo op?
Yeah, I don't really photo op.
I mean, Patrick.
No, my photo op would be up against the car.
I mean,
This could be you.
If you want Patrick's face to be on the picture, that's fine. You guys can have it.
Not if you want to sell it.
I mean, this guy has been the baby of all this.
Be a target.
Oh, yeah. What? He's going, what?
You guys can take your own pictures. I don't have to be involved in that whatsoever. But
Well, I want to offer it to you, because one thing we want to make sure we do is that everything is compatible and long-term. And that's what this program is, the paperless recording. That's what the camera system is, and that is what we're doing and the tracking. And I think that you did get July, right?
Yep.
Okay.
oh, the July, unfortunately.
Yes.
I haven't checked in the past couple hours. So.
Okay, if you check it, it's there, it should be there. But what's helping us really is this technology is being able to compile some idea of what's happening. And going forward with that, because one thing we don't want to do is look at stats from 3 months ago, because that happened 3 months ago. The circumstances are totally different. Castle Hills is very seasonal in some of the activities that happen. And we'll see increases in the summer for property, what they call Part 2 crimes. You'll see the increase when the kids out of school for the spring break or for the Christmas break, Thanksgiving break. They'll be out this weekend because of Labor Day on Monday, no school. So we're very conscious to move and modify based on their ability to be out. And we're contacted. As I said, we've contacted numerous vehicles and they're not sticking around. As soon as we got the car, they're pulling off. And so we do record the tag in case they are tied to an area of crime and the location, but they're not sticking around like they would like them to do.
We are getting just, to help us with the website part, but the majority of our traffic now is people checking the reports that Daryl's team is putting up. So, when the first reports went out, we had 450 hits on our website of people looking for this stuff. We've got about 50 people subscribed to our website now, so every time we post anything, a meeting, an Iron Guard post, LVPD or whatever, they get an email, they click a link and it shows them what